Welcome trainers. Every Pokemon game, the player character seems to be the main character. Actually, in almost every single Pokemon game, the player character is the main character. You get the starter. You collect the badges. You catch the legendary. You become the champion. That's just how Pokemon has worked. Except for Unova. So why does it feel so different? So why does it feel like N is the true main character of Pokemon Black and White? Today, let's talk about why Natural Harmonia Gropius, yes, that's his full government name, is the true main character of Pokemon Black and White. When you start Black and White, it looks normal. You battle your friends. You head out on your journey. You run into the region's evil team. But unlike most villains, the leader isn't some distant figure whose ideology only becomes clear at the very end. It's revealed to be N, and you keep showing up, keep talking, challenging. Not like a villain, but like a rival. He gets a tragic background. He gets manipulated. He's labeled the king of Team Plasma. He defeats the Elite Four before you. He defeats Champion Order. He awakens the legendary dragon. He captures it.
He has the castle.
He sits on a throne, and he returns in the sequel. The prophecy begins with him. He awakens the dragon first.
The dragon belongs to N.
It chooses N. That arc isn't for the antagonist. That is a protagonist arc. And yet, N is the one who has it. And this whole time, he's using random wild Pokemon. He's out here fulfilling prophecy and restructuring the Pokemon League. Meanwhile, you're sitting there grinding Argano after Argano for his doing this. Then, the game does something even more interesting. At some point, N says, Zekrom and Reshiram are Pokemon that appear before the hero they recognize. When he said this, one of the two legendary dragons had already appeared before him depending on which version you chose. It showed up to N. Not a tyrant. Not a villain. But a hero.
And here's what's fascinating. Both dragons choose a hero.
One chooses Hilbert and Hilda, while the other chooses N. The game doesn't frame this as hero versus villain. It frames it as hero versus hero. So if N is the hero, the one with the tragic backstory, the internal conflict, prophecy, the castle, the final confrontation. What does that make us? We are not the villain. We are the opposing protagonist. For the first time in Pokemon history, we are not the sole chosen one. This is not good versus evil. It's condition versus condition. Two heroes, one story, and the narrative follows the one who changes fast and not the one grinding Ardenos. But Hilbert and Hilbert don't impact the story. They take down N. They allow N to change. They expose Ghetsis' plan by defeating N. They defeat Ghetsis in the end. They are the hero that ends up saving the day. But they never question anything. Player might, but they aren't going to an arc. Player character is the cause of N's arc. They serve the role of a mentor. Second hero that helps the hero develop. Don't want to take my words for it. Look at Hilbert's own words in Pokemon Master Dia.
There were two heroes in Unova also.
In another context when he was explaining who N was.
But through our battles and travels and beliefs began to waver. He saw with his own eyes how Pokemon and humans can understand and help each other. And he made a real effort to try to understand how we felt.
Hilbert and Hilda both impact the story, but they help him to see the good parts of humans, and how Pokemon and people could coexist. That sounds like a hero to me.
But not like the main character.
I feel he wants to argue that it's complete, or he's not focused on, but that they can mentor the true main character. In most classical story structure, the mentor is relatively stable, and their role is to catalyze change in the protagonist, not to go through an arc themselves. The player character was meant to question Pokemon battling and would see that change on screen. But it's never required for the person playing to question it. Instead, you see him and he is the one who starts with doubt and ends with conviction. That is the main character arc. In most Pokemon games, you carry the story. In Pokemon Black and White, N carries the ideology. He speaks, he debates, he wrestles with his beliefs. You don't! Let me dive deeper into N's arc. During the story climax in Castle, N is disappointed, saying, "You came all this way to battle, but Reshiram is not responding. You haven't yet been recognized as the hero."
Have you? How disappointing. I actually kind of liked you a little.
Through many battles, I got the feeling that you might be a trainer who truly cares for Pokemon. But I was kidding myself. The idea of trainers getting to know each other through battles is ridiculous. You have two options. Challenge me to a fight that you can't win, or leave this place and watch the birth of a new world, where Pokemon are free of people. Zekrom, come to me! The character rejecting his own development doubled down.
And he silences his doubts. And when the second legendary dragon appears,
Recognizing Herbert Hilda as the hero, the illusion breaks. This is when N truly begins his transformation, and his final fight finally completes his arc. Especially when Gethys calls him pathetic and drops his benevolent facade. One of his last main storylines is, "It's about when I first met you in the Cumulus town. I was shocked when I heard what your Pokemon was saying. I was shocked because
Pokemon said it liked you.
said it wanted to be with you. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't believe there were Pokemon that liked people. Because up until that moment, I'd never known a Pokemon like that. The longer my journey continued, the more unsure I became. All I kept meeting were Pokemon and people who communicated with one another and helped one another. That was why I needed to confirm my belief by battling with you. I wanted to confront you hero to hero. I needed that more than anything." This finally finishes N's arc, showing how N's doubts slowly stepped in, and both the player character and NPC affected that. Eventually, this all culminated to the final battle with N, where he put his ideals to the test, and he wanted to confront Hilbert or Hilda.
Hero to hero.
When N changes, the game never forces you to. You are free to immerse yourself, to battle, to explore, to exist in the world without being told how to feel about it. The ideological weight rested on N.
Not on you.
Maybe that's why his art feels so powerful. You weren't forced to think. We're allowed to watch someone else learn to. That's why I believe that Natural Harmonia Gropius is the true main character of Pokemon Black and White. If you have any thoughts, leave them in the comments below, and until next communion.